Hello, welcome to Take Two Tuesday. How are you today? Anybody here with me? Let's check in. Good morning, Janet and Shelby. Wow, where is everybody today? We're off to a slow start, but welcome. I'm happy to have you guys here. Everybody check in, okay? I want to see who's here. I usually send this out to Instagram also, but it's broken today, so that's why I was totally on time. And then I went to check the Instagram. You have to click it right at the last second when you go live, and it is not working. So I don't know what's going on with Instagram. I think we had a problem with it the other night on Crafting Corner too. So I will figure it out, but something is broken there. But welcome, Dawn. Hi, Diane. Awesome. Welcome. My name is Ken. I'm here at the Stamps of Life. Hi, Phyllis. We are in Southern California in the Orange County area. We are a mostly card making company, right? We sell the dies and the stamps and all the cardstock, ink. Well, we don't do machines right now. Ink, what else? Felt. I said cardstock embellishments. We have card kits. We have clubs. We have a stamp club, a die club, all that kind of fun stuff. If you're not familiar with us, you want to check it out, thestampsoflife.com. So always think of the facts of life, but instead the stamps of life. You will find us. So welcome. It is Tuesday. What day are we already? We are on the 8th of April. We're moving along into our second week. Hi, Phyllis, and welcome. We're going to have some fun today. We have a folded set to take a look at, a great collection of stamps and dies. These are both about 4 years old. We will take a look at those items. We are going to try a new game today. Later on, I think it's called Hurdle, which I think is supposed to, I've never played Wordle, but I think it's something like that. Maybe you guys have played Wordle before. Anyway, in this game called Hurdle, it's like a 5-letter word and you have to try to figure it out. Now, when I was playing it by myself, I was pretty slow, but I think if you guys are helping me, that we will be able to dominate and get through it really quick. We'll stretch our brains because my brain was, I was trying to figure out these words yesterday, and it was taking much longer than it really should. It really, really was. Let's see what else is going on. I think this is going out everywhere. Hope everybody can see me. I see everybody's on YouTube. I don't see any Facebook people yet, so we are off to a little bit of a slow start, but hopefully we'll get things going. So I told you the items we'll look at. We have some fun facts today. We are going to look at a stamp set that's kind of sand related. So I have some fun facts about sand stuff. What else? Oh, I have, let's see. Before we do that opening question, let me tell you what's going on here. Have you been on the Stamps of Life website the last couple days? Because we have a new collection of dies that were added. And I think I'm going to refresh my page here. I think they might still be on flash sale. So if you haven't got them yet, you might want to jump over there. Let's see. Yes, they are still on flash sale. So that's good. Let me show you actually what is on the website so you know what's going on. I will show you that. Again, before we do that, again, my name's Ken. I'm here at the Stamps of Life. We do this episode each week called Take Two Tuesday. And we get together every Tuesday morning. We hang out and have some, well, it's morning here, 10 a.m. If you're on the East Coast, it's probably like 1. So in between there in the United States, every once in a while we have somebody from out of the country jump in, but that gives you an idea. So kind of a fun way to start off the day. And we'll hang out, just share some time together. We'll talk about some of the items we have here at the Stamps of Life. I'll do a little bit of demoing, show you how they work. But what this is, as Take Two Tuesday, is a reminder for you who already have these items that you should be using them. So it's kind of like a refresher course. And then for everybody who's new, this is a chance, maybe the first time you've ever seen these items, because they're so far back in the past that they don't get promoted as much as some of the newer items. So that's what we do here. We try to make it fun, interesting, and of course, I want you guys all to participate. So I see some of you in the chat. That's great. I hope that everybody will add your highs and how you doing and all that kind of stuff in there. I'll have some questions to ask you guys, and make sure you jump in because that makes it more fun when you participate. So I need those when we do some questions, answers, and then when we play our game, I'm definitely going to need your help. So we'll do all that together and we'll just have some fun. At the end what we do is a good news segment, and we'll open up our Bibles, and we are in Proverbs chapter 6. So if you haven't been reading to keep along, you could do that even right now. Read Proverbs 6, and I'll take a short little passage out of there, and we'll have a little devotional and just pray that God will speak to us, and that whatever we learn, we can go out and put it into practice. That's a real important thing, that the things that God shares with us, that we go out and live them out, that we don't just let it get into our head, but into our heart and into our actions. So that's what we try to do with the good news segment. So that will be at the very end. Okay, I was talking about the website, so let's go ahead and do that. We want to see what's going on there. Let me switch over. Oops, that's not good. Almost. Here we go. So the Stamps of Life website, if you have not been there lately, we added these 3 new die sets here, and they are super cool. There's this Floral Edge A2 card die set there, really nice. There's the Decal Edge Mini Slimline die set, and then this Stand and Say Happy Birthday. And of course, all of them have card ideas with them, so you can get a good starting point. This one's really fun. It opens up. I have a couple samples here too that I'm going to show you, so you can see them actually right here on my set. You get those dies there. It has the, whoops, it had a couple sayings there. Thank you so much, it says. And also, live life in full bloom, and you are beautiful. That one there on the side. So a few different sentiments that you get. So that's a nice combination. But look at how it layers there. It's super cool. I really like this one, and I think you guys will love it. If you haven't seen it yet, it's on the Stamps of Life website and on flash sale. And then back to our main page, you saw the other ones. Again, the little mini slimline Decal Edge style and the Happy Birthday. And I'm going to show you these samples real quick as we get our show starting. I do have a question for you guys now that some of you are here. Whoops, let's switch over to me so I can be full screen here. Can you tell me something? It can be from today, or let's see how far back. Today or yesterday. Tell me something that has made you smile. Add that into the chat. So something that has made you smile. We all need things that make us smile. So can you think of anything that made you smile today or yesterday? Go ahead and post that in the comments in our chat that we have going right now, okay? If you are watching this at a later time and you missed out the chance to answer, you can still comment in the comment section down below this post, like on YouTube or Facebook or Instagram, wherever you might see it. Add your comments. We love to hear what you have to say. You can always get involved even at a later time. So has something made you smile today or yesterday? And I did just think of something. It just happened a little while ago. I was at the at our church group. The guys get together on Tuesdays and we have a Bible study. And at the end, we just get to talk a little bit. And there was one guy who brought up this. We were talking about how God is in big things and little things. Well, he had lost his wallet. And him and his, I think it was his buddy, they went back and they had gone up to Seal Beach to do something. And so they went back and tracked through all the different places they thought they could have lost their wallet and lost the wallet. And they kept checking, and they even did 2 rounds. They did the same thing twice. And so it's almost like getting to the point of giving up hope. And he thinks to himself. So he went back to like the restaurant they went out on the pier. They did all this kind of stuff. And he finally said, oh boy, I think I'm done. I lost it. It's going to be such a hassle to fix all that stuff. And then he thought, you know what? I haven't prayed about this. And so he prayed, God, just help me to find my wallet. And he didn't give me the exact time, but I think it was in like the next hour or something. The thought came up in his mind to call the security at the place where he lives. And he thought he had the wallet with him the whole time, but he calls the security and they go, yeah, sure enough, we have your wallet right here. And I could see a big smile on his face, and it put a big smile on my face too, because it just reminded me of how God does work, and he's interested in our lives. And whether it's a really big thing or a little thing, God wants to bless us. So let's see what you guys had to say. So what has made you smile today? Let's see. Sylvie says the sun came out and the thunderstorms went away. That's a good thing. Rain is awesome, but it's nice to have some sun too. Yes. And Kellyanne says the sun is shining today. That makes her smile. Seeing the sun. Everybody likes the sun. Ooh, Phyllis says cheese, popcorn. And then Teresa says, I just got my koalas. And does that make you smile? Yes, that makes you smile, Teresa. Good. So anybody else, jump in the chat and tell us what makes you smile. Okay, we want to hear about that. Melissa says the sun too. Yeah, it's a popular one. It always kind of does brighten your day when the sun's out, especially when the weather's really nice or it's pushing out the rain. That's even nicer. Shelby says, just this morning, I started feeling better from this horrible cold. All right. I hope that makes you smile, Shelby. We'll be praying for you that you get all better. Okay, let's check out these few samples that I have here. This is for the first items, and I just wanted to show off a couple card samples with you. I got to turn on the light over here, so give me just a second while I fix that. Ooh, even my table's a little bit crooked, so I got to fix that. Let's see. What can I do here? We can do that. And we'll pop this on. So again, Take Two Tuesday. Thanks for joining me. I'm so happy to have you here. And I do hope you are going to have a lot of smiles today and that a lot of fun stuff will happen in your life. So there was another thing that made me smile too. Yesterday, we were playing baseball. I just thought about this. We were playing baseball with the boys. And one of the guys, I was Miller, he hit the ball really good one time on his own, and I know he was happy about that, and that made me smile. And then I think Liam had a hit too when he was playing baseball. They're kind of in between. They should be just doing t-ball, but the coaches are pitching to them, and they're not quite up to that level yet, but they're trying. So every once in a while they hit it, and it's pretty exciting. It is pretty exciting when that happens. So then it made me smile. Okay, here's our cards. Here's that decal edge I was talking about. Very nice. And that features our new koala stamps and dies that are, if you're a club member, these were shipped out to you. You're going to get them. You're going to get that little koala, and that should be fun. Some of the koala items are sold out, but don't worry. They're going to start to come back in stock. Stephanie has reordered all of the items. I know we don't usually redo the stencils, but we're even going to get the stencils back this time because they were popular, and I know a lot of people still wanted to get them. So the stencils, the dies, the folded will all be coming back in stock. But if you're in the club, you're going to get that shipment already sent to you. And then this one is a really cool idea, and this is the happy birthday, let's see, stand and say dies. So it's just the word die, but I saw that a lot of people on our website yesterday purchased this candle. It's a slim line. See if I can fit that all the way. There we go. A slim line, fold it. And we sold a lot of these yesterday because isn't that an awesome combination? So you just open it up, boom, add your extra sentiments in there. Super easy, fun birthday card, right? Just like that, don't you think? And then let me show you that card base we were just talking about, the flower. It's hard to see on the website, but here with the card, you can see how it really layers, and it's got this nice die cut out that allows you to see through. So you see, it's like a window. Super, really cool. I like it. It's a lot different than a lot of the things that we have for an A2 size card. So I really like that one. And this one says, live life in full bloom. And then here's another one, a thank you so much. And again, it's got that flower that just kind of stands out, pops out there. It is really cool. So if you guys haven't seen that one, definitely stop by the website. I don't know. It's one of my favorites of this year, I think. It's just a little bit different and very exciting. Okay, who else is here? Hi, Gail. And there was Dawn, Teresa. Yes, everybody loves that one. I think it's a cool one. Gail's going. Oh, Gail's gonna go see her son play volleyball because hula class was canceled. What happened to hula class? Next, I wanted to mention, this is kind of like our warm-up section, but it is graduation season, and we do have graduation items on the Stamps of Life website. If you're not familiar, we have the graduation cap folded. I don't have any samples for these, but I wanted to remind you of these things. Graduation cap, and where is my little graduation slide? I know I made one. There we go. So we have the graduation. It's the graduation season. So we have the folded. This is a folded cap like that. And then we have this nice combination. We've had this for a long, long time. And when Stephanie first made this stamp set called Graduation, what is it? Is it Graduation to Celebrate? Yeah, Graduation to Celebrate. We didn't even have a die set. That's how far back this one goes. So this might be like a 10-year-old stamp set, but eventually we did come out with the dies. So this is a combination that you can get on the website. Graduation to Celebrate is the stamp set made in the USA, and then the graduation dies that coordinate with it. So those two are on the website. If you need something, maybe you have a kindergartner graduating, maybe you have a high schooler or somebody from college, or maybe somebody has gone through some kind of vocational thing and they're going to graduate. That's nice to have. So we have that on the website if you're not aware of it. So I just wanted you to know about that. And what else? This week, Thursday, is Crafting Corner. We just have a regular Crafting Corner. Last week we did the 30-second card in 5 minutes. Stephanie did a really nice card. I think it was just about 5 minutes. And that will be on Thursday night. And then what else? That'll be on YouTube and Facebook, and should be Instagram if Instagram's working. It's not today for some reason. And what else? That is it. We're ready to go. If you need something to celebrate, we have some days of the year. I know every once in a while I mention this. They have all these crazy things that you can celebrate when you are, I don't know, I guess you pay and you can have your day get celebrated. So anyhow, today, if you are into any of these days, we have, you need something to celebrate and make you smile. Maybe this will help you smile today. It is National Zoo Day. And I do think zoos are pretty fun. Probably more exciting even to see animals in the wild, but zoos are pretty cool. You can see a lot of animals that you might not normally get to see. And then, whoops. I need to hide that one. And what else do we have? International Romani Day. That's like a group of people who kind of live in Eastern Europe, I think, or something. This was an unusual one. Baby Massage Day. I didn't know that was a thing. This would probably be my favorite one. National Empanada Day. And then also International Pageant Day. So if you know somebody who's like into beauty pageants or whatever other kind of pageants, it says just take the day off and enjoy a pageant. I don't know exactly what that means. It said like watch a movie about pageants, or I don't know. But I'm voting for National Empanada Day. That sounds like the best one for me. So not super exciting things to celebrate today, but the National Zoo one, usually you find some animals doing something crazy, funny. They will make you smile. Okay, whoops. Why is that? This is saying graduation season. What did I do? Okay, so we are moving on. Oh, I told you, flash sale, that will be ending soon. Excuse me, those items I just showed you on the website, that will be ending soon. So if you liked any of those ones I just showed you, make sure you stop by and do that. Last thing before we continue on, our store day is coming up. I think it's 3 weeks from this Saturday. We're going to have the Stamps of Life store day, Laguna Hills, California. The information, excuse me, will be on. Let me turn off my mic. The information about that, we'll be sending out like a newsletter, and information will be open from 9 in the morning, I think, until like 2 in the afternoon. Stephanie's going to demo. There are going to be some brand new items here. So that's something to look forward to. Save the date. Saturday, May 3rd. You don't have to have a ticket or anything like that. It's not going to be like our spectacular anniversary one, but we'll have some fun. Stephanie will be showing off some new items, and then you'll be able to do all the shopping you want. I'm going to have 2 cash registers open this time, so somehow we'll be able to speed things up. That's the plan. So save that date. Bring a friend, maybe somebody who doesn't know about us. I'll give you a good chance to have some fun and get out of the house. Hopefully we have a nice day that day. Okay, we're moving on. Let's see our first item. And we did all of our kind of intro stuff. That always takes a little bit longer than I thought. But here we go. So we'll save that for a second. Our first items are, and I should be able to find this. Ooh, Sandcastles. This is our collection of, there we go. Our collection. This was a club set all the way back in, when was it? July of 2021. So we have the Sandcastle stamp set, and I'll show you all of this on the website. There is a lot. And then there were a bunch of add-ons that went with it. You have the dies that coordinate, where you also get the Sandcastle. So we have those two that go together. This was the club section, and with spring and summer coming up, I thought this would be a good time to review these, show them off to you. They have some fun samples that we're going to go over. This was the add-on set called More Sand to Stamp, and there's a die set that goes with it. So we have those two that work together. And then also a sayings for Sandcastle stamp set. So it has some nice sayings on there. What does it say? Oh, beach, please. Life's a beach. I dig you. Sandy toes and a sun-kissed nose. I'm sorry I was a little salty at the beach. Every day is Sunday. Get it? Sunday. So that is all on our website. But let me show you what you can see if you go over there, because there are a ton of good ideas using this one. Here we go. And so we've got that. And let's see. So there's Sandcastle to stamp. And you can see if you just scroll down, remember how I was mentioning all of the add-on items. Maybe you have the club part already. Now, if you have it, think if this is the season to use these, you can scroll down and you can see the different items that are kind of sand and beach related. Shows all the ones that coordinate together here. We do have a 5x7 folded also. I didn't bring that into this review just because we had so much, but I will eventually show you that one too. Secret weapon, and there's some other like beach themed items down below. So there you are on the website, and you have your card ideas right here. You can scroll through and see all of those. And I told you there's a lot of nice samples using this one. We used to use this one on a crafting corner a couple years ago. Life's a beach, it says, on a slim line. There it is on a folded card. That is, which one? Oh, I have that here. Which one is that? Oh, it doesn't say on my, does not say. What else? I think, is that our snow globe or fish? We have fish tank, but I think we have snow globe. So I think they use a snow globe. There it is on a step up card, on an A2 card. What else do we have? Just a nice basic, I dig you. And there's some nice beach scene. Life is better with sandy toes, it says. And there's the stamp set. So you get 12 stamps on this one. And remember, our stamps are made in the USA, so they're going to be nice, high quality. And this first die set is the one that coordinates. And then we have the more, kind of the add-on. So let's check that out real quick. And this one has 13 stamps. And I see a couple of different card samples. So let's scroll through those. That one we saw, that's a new one. Hello, Summer, it says. Let's see if we can enlarge these a little bit. We saw that slim line. What else is there on here? Oh, that's a nice one with the mermaid background die there. Beach life is the best life. Ooh, sandy toes and sun-kissed nose on in a box card. I think that is the 5x7. I might have that sample. We'll check it out here in a second. There's a neat idea, actually putting it in sand. And back to our stamp set. So I do have some fun facts to go with this one. So before we look at the samples I have, let's do that. Well, I got to fix this too. One of my cards is falling apart here, so let me fix this real quick. Oh, because I don't want to show you a card that is not together like it should be. Hey, what's going on? There we go. Something's going crazy with this card. I think it might be because it's been squashed in a box with a bunch of other cards for a long, long time. That's possible. I think I've got that. Yeah, if I can fix that a little. I might have messed it up, but anyway, we'll try. Okay, there we go. All right, that should be ready to go. I'll show you that here in a minute. Come on, what's going on? What is going on with this card? So I'm doing card repairs here off screen before I show them to you because I don't want them to fall apart while we're displaying them. Okay, what was I saying? I was saying, fun facts for, let's go over our fun facts for beach stuff. And this is a vacation site. Don't worry about that, but we're just looking at the fun facts they're showing us here. And it says sand is usually made of silica. I think I've heard of silica, but I certainly didn't know it was sand, which is a compound that makes up most of the Earth's crust. It is also makes up the mineral quartz. This is interesting. It actually has many uses, including making ceramics, concrete, and countertops. I did not know that. Basically, it sounds like to me that if you have a countertop, it could be made out of sand. I don't know how that works, but this is what this website says. Sand comes in many colors. This is interesting. This one is interesting. It all depends on what sort of minerals make up the sand. So they are mentioning this Sunset Beach. They have a hard quartz silica, which has the color of, well, sand. It says it's usually light tan, but if you look really close, you'll see flecks of white, black, brown, and pink all mixed in there. And then tropical beaches like Hawaii, where they're more white because it says it has a calcium carbonate buildup, which is from broken like coral, skeletons of coral and other marine life. So if you see white beaches, it's usually because they have more coral around it. And then if you see black beaches, those are the result of red and black volcanic rocks. They turn into black sand eventually. So if you see a black sand beach, there is probably a good chance there are some volcanoes from around that area. It says sand dunes are created when the wind pulls sand into a hill-like shape. They can be found in deserts, but sometimes high up on beaches too. Yeah, wind can mound up the sand. That is definitely true. And wind can push the sand so much it even starts to cover up pathways. Very few animals live in the sand. Most can't make the sand their home because the stuff is constantly changing and shifting. It's not very solid. There are a few that do, like around the beaches here in Southern California. I've seen the little crabs, the sand crabs, those guys, beach flies and beetles. Beach flies, those are nasty. Sugar and salt are in sand. That's right. Sugar and salt are sand. They're not in sand. That's right. Any material made up of a certain size of grain will qualify as sand. Who knew? Who knew? So when you're eating a bunch of salt or a bunch of sugar, it's like eating sand. Here's a picture of a tall castle. Whoosh! Look how tall it really is. Because you see down here in the corner of the picture here, those are people. Those are people standing around this sandcastle. That thing is huge. There's a new Guinness World Record for the tallest sandcastle in June of 2019. It was 57 feet tall, 57 feet and 11 inches tall. That's like almost 6 stories. That is a lot of sand. That is like a real castle. The sand used for the project was brought in from, so they did it in Germany. It was brought in from the Netherlands. It took over a month to build. At this beach here in Sunset Beach, it says you can take a sandcastle building lesson. That would be fun. And sand protects our coasts from erosion. And then this last one's funny. Sand sticks to you like nothing else. You already know this. Sand sticks to skin because sand holds on to water, which in turn holds on to the moisture in your skin or on your towel or beach bucket and hair. And it can really drive you crazy. There's an old baby powder trick. It will help remove sand from sticky, sandy skin. So I had never heard of that, a baby powder trick. So sand, once you get it on you, ooh, it is definitely hard to get rid of. So there's some fun facts for sand. And all right, enough of that. Let's jump back over to me. I think I have all these cards ready to go. And let's take a look at what we have here, because there are some fun ones. All righty. Let me move that over just a tad. And I'll show you a couple of A2 size cards first. And I think we saw this one on the website, but it's nice. And I don't know if you can see the sparklies, but there is some kind of glitter that was added to that. That's an A2 card. And I'll save the slim line for last. That takes a little bit extra space. Here's that. Beach life is the best life. And it's got that nice mermaid background on there. And I Dig You, another nice A2 size card. And this is a fun one with a lot of depth to it. So it's kind of three-dimensional. Hello, Summer, it says. I like that. That looks fun. And here's again, I think this is using maybe it is fish tank. I'm not sure if that's fish tank or not, but that opens up a fold-it card. And this one is opening up from the top. You could do on the side also if you wanted. So that one's there. And then I have a 5x7. This will definitely work. The stamp and die set would definitely work on a 5x excuse me, 5x7 card. Excuse me, I got a little something in my throat today. And then here's that nice, we have two different sizes of box cards, folding boxes on our website. This one is the 5x7 version. Nice. And we also have an A2 size card one too. So you see you can add all those extra layers in there, decorate, but then the great thing, look, all of that, it folds down flat. So you can, if you have this 5x7 box card die set, you can decorate it with whatever you want. You could go beach theme like this, or it could be Christmas or Easter, or whatever. But what's nice is it folds down. You add it into your envelope. Boom, you're ready to go. Okay, that one's nice. And then I do have one slim line. It's a little bit taller. Oh, beach, please, it says. So that is on, oops, can I get that all to fit in there? Kind of. Oh, beach, please. And then it opens up like that on a slim line. Also with the slim line, you have the option. You could do it that way too. All right, let's see. I will go ahead and stamp and die cut a little bit with this and switch over here. Let me get things ready here. I think I have all my lights on the table. And we are going to grab these. I'm going to use, the biggest die is this castle. So I'm going to go ahead and use the castle and the stamps from the club section. We'll try that out. Get some of this out of the way. We'll put those over there. And let's head over to our work table. Oh, my question for you is, before I start, do you think you're more of a beach person or a pool person? If you're going to do something out in the water, would you rather go to the beach or to the pool? I like them both. But I think I would pick beach because I kind of like to be out in the nature part and hear the waves and the ocean and all that fun extras up. Though the pool would be really nice because the pool water is usually nice and warm, much warmer than ocean water. At least the places I've been, the ocean water has been pretty cold. So are you a beach person or are you a pool person? What do you think? Let us know. Answer in the chat. Oh, Shelby says lake, or you could be a lake person. And sometimes they have sand at the lake. So what do you think? Beach, pool, or lake? Answer in the chat. Put your answer in there, okay, guys? And I'm going to switch over here. And let's see what we can do with this. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and let's see. Let's go ahead and add. That looks good. Let's go ahead and stamp this a couple times. And I was working with this large image yesterday. It was pretty fun and easy to use. So we're going to go ahead and pull that large stamp off of our sheet here. And I finally found some licorice ink. So I'm hoping this one it's kind of old. I hope it is still ready to be used. Yesterday I used, I used this newer blueberry, worked great, but let's try, this is my licorice today. Let's see what happens with that. And we're going to move my machine out a bit out of the way. We're going to zoom in a little so we can see what we're doing here. All right, there we go. I think you can see that. Great. So here's the stamp. It just barely fits on this. This block is 3x5, but it just barely fits on there. So if I really had a larger block here, I might want to move up. The next size we have is a 4x5 and also 4x6. So if you're thinking of how big a block you need, it just barely fits on this, and this is 3 inches in width. The length is fine, but it's just the width that's just barely getting on there. So let's go ahead and get some ink on that. Set that there. I do need some cardstock. And I've got some extra here. We'll use that sheet. We'll ink this guy up. Now, if you're wondering what this is below me, this is our, what we call the Stamper's secret weapon. Really, really improves your stamp and image results. So you might like one of these if you don't have one currently. You can get this on our website. It's not that expensive, but it's really valuable. It really makes your, if you ever have the times where your stamp doesn't, maybe you inked it up real good and it still just doesn't quite come out how you expected, this will often totally fix that problem. So I'm going to do this a couple times, and it looks like it's all inked up real good. Let's go ahead and add this on there once. And once you put your block down, you want to just give pressure on all the different sides to make sure you get that down. Ooh, that looks good. So there's one. Let's go ahead and do that same thing again. This ink pad's doing really good. This ink pad traveled with us to a bunch of shows. I just went through some of our warehouse, and gosh, it was, it's been about 4 years, 5 years almost since we traveled to any shows. So this was packed away, this ink pad, for 5 years. And here I am breaking it out and using it today, and it's still working like it's brand new. It seems like it has a lot of ink in it still. And, sometimes these things can dry out over time, which is understandable. But this one is working really good. And I'm happy to have a black licorice ink pad here with me. So we're going to add that again one more time. Awesome. So 2 really good impressions there. That came out really good. I got a little smudge there. We're going to die cut this and get rid of that. So let's do that next. Let's do some die cutting. And I'm going to put my ink pad off to the side. And let's get this ready to go through our machine. I think you can see what's going on there. Good. We're going to add this to our die cutting machine. And then we need the dies that go with this. So let me find those. I'm trying to stay nice and organized here. There is my die set that I have. And we're going to do both of these since we have them handy. You can cut this out and you can have an outline like the shadow. We're going to use that one for one of these. And then we're going to cut right on the lines with this other inside piece. So just to show you a couple different options you have here at the Stamps of Life with our dies. So peel that off real slow. Good. And then, so I want to, the key is I do not want these to move around. So what should we do? We're going to add a little bit of washi tape. Now with the shadow, let's see if you can see. Well, I'll hold this in the middle. With the shadow, you have a little bit of room for air, but when you're going with this one right on, that goes right over it, you got to really have it, nail it just right. So we're going to use some washi tape to make sure we do that. Let's get the washi tape on here. And where is my washi tape? Everything, oh, there we are. I was looking for a different color, so I have some just washi tape. And this will come in handy to keep this die from moving. We don't want it to move. If it moves, all that stamping that we did is going to not be as pretty as it was when we stamped it and when we cut out part of the image. So we've got that one. And this is the more intricate one here. So we're going to try to get this really lined up on it really good. All right, got that. I hope all of you are having a wonderful day. And we have really nice weather out here in Southern California. We are probably mid-70s, and I don't see any rain in the forecast for a while. Just everything is looking good. We're warming up a little bit and having fun here today. What's nice is even the warehouse here is not that cold. Sometimes it does get cold in here, but today, just perfect. Now, ask me in like a month or two, and it could be that I'll be sweating like crazy in here because once it gets hot around here and the sun starts hitting the windows, woo! All right, here we go. There is our, let me see if I can move this back just a tad. Whoops, wrong way. Sorry. Okay, there, I think you can see better. So you can see the washi tape, and I have both of the dies in there. We're running that through the machine, and we should come out with a couple nice die cuts here. Now, some people like to do all their coloring and inking of their images before they die cut. I personally would probably die cut first, because if I just happen to mess it up, all that nice coloring that I did is all going to be for nothing. So I would die cut first and then color, but you do it however you like. So you have the freedom. You get to choose. The options are available to you. Whatever, there is no right way or wrong way. All preference, your personal preference. So I have these two. Let me see if I can put it on something so you can kind of see what happened. And one of my computers is going off. There we go. And here we go. So I did the one where you have the option with the shadow. So you see a little bit of extra white space around there, which some people like that. And then this one is just right on the image. So both of those came out really, really nice, the stamping and the die cutting. Let me see real quick if I can show you what those samples might have looked like. So here is one where you can see the designer did keep the shadow around their image. Let me look and see if there's one without that. I think everybody left the image. Oh, and here is one where the designer did not want any border. So like my die cut here, they chose that option using the inside die, and they just die cut right on the image. So you can go that, no shadow, no white lines around it. Or you can do something like this, where you do have a border around your image. Up to you. No right way or wrong way. All personal preference. So that is all available in that collection, Sandcastle to Stamp. There's a club shipment about 4 years ago, I think 2021, right? July of 2021, yep. And that was, then there's also, these are the extra add-on items. More stamps, more sand to stamp with the dies. And then also these extra sayings. So that is all on the Stamps of Life website. If you've been with us for 4 years, you are likely to have this collection. I hope this will be a reminder for you to go ahead and get those items out and use them. I think with summer and spring coming up, you will have a great time, and you'll make some beautiful cards. It will be lots of fun to use something that you already have in your stash of card making and stamping items that maybe you've just forgotten. It's hard to remember everything we have, right? Like I said, I've been cleaning house around here at the warehouse, and whew, I have been finding stuff that is way from the past. Even here at the website, I'm like, I didn't even know we had this before. It's been so long since we've seen it. It just got buried away in boxes or pushed off to the side. And as I'm cleaning, I'm like, ooh, we might be able to use this, or, oh, that's got to go. We would never use that nowadays. But you might find stuff like that. Search through your drawers, through your cupboards. You never know what you might find. So do that. And it's kind of an extra value when you find something old that you forgot you have and you find a new way to use it. We like to do that here at the Stamps of Life, and we hope you guys will do that too. Okay, we're moving along and up to our next item. This is a folded, it's a word, and it's kind of an interesting one. I even had to look up the word to make sure I really understood what it meant. Let's see. We are almost. I still don't know they have this. It's kind of like a little broadcast booth on this website that we use to send out these videos. Well, I'm trying to learn my way around it, but I only do this once a week. You'd think I would be better at it by now, but not quite yet. So this next, well, let's do this first here. So we'll do that. The item we're going to look at is called the Kudos folded die set. And I always thought kudos meant like way to go, or you did it, or something like that. So I looked it up because I just wanted to make sure that I really understood what this meant. And so I checked it out. I put it into a dictionary, and kudos is it says it's a noun. It's not a thing. So, but it says it's called a noun, or it's like I thought it was it says noun or used with the singular verb. I'm not sure I understand that part. I didn't think it was a noun, but that's what it's saying here, whatever I copied and pasted. But it says to give honor, glory, or acclaim. So when you it says the example, he received that's hard for me to say it. He received kudos from everyone on his performance. So you see there, you're like praising somebody, honoring them, saying you did it, way to go. So kudos folded die set. All right, this is a folded die set, and you get 3 dies, and there are a couple different things you can do with this when you layer it. You can kind of have some fun. Let me see if I can find that for you. Where's my little corner? Kudos. This one is also from July of 2021. So somehow I found a July box from 2021. Both of these collections are from that. And I have some nice samples to show you. Now, after I show you these samples, we're going to play our game, all right, our word game. So I'm going to need some help. There are only 22 of you today. What happened to everybody? Last week, we had like 45 people here. Some weeks I've seen low 50s. There are only 23 of us here now today. I'm going to need your help when we do our game. So I'm counting on you guys to help me out. All right. Let me show you these card samples. So first, then we'll play our game. Then we'll check out the website, and I'll come up with some ideas of some things that you might want to do here. So I do have a few, and they're nice. Makes an A2 size card. And here it is like for graduation. So maybe you have a graduation. This would work with it. There we go. Let me show you these card samples that I have. All right, so that's where it says kudos, and it could do the side option. This is best, I think, if you're just using it at the top fold. So your fold is right there, an A2 size. It's got that little graduation cap added to it, some sparklies, fun. It's got the white background. So you see, you can kind of get 3 layers out of this collection, and I really like how that comes out. If you mix and match your colors just right, you're going to make some nice looking cards. Congrats, graduate, it says. Kudos with some nice flowers. And again, I think our designers just really came up with some nice, pretty colors. My colors were not that exciting yesterday when I was die cutting with this, but I really like what our design team did with this. Here's some pattern paper along with a couple solids for the background. Looks kind of like a grape and guava, and then the pattern paper, little owl there. Congrats, kudos. And it says the tassel is worth the hassle. I know that is from one of our graduation to celebrate stamp set. Congratulations, it says. Kudos, nice and simple with some epoxy dots. Kind of give it a little extra touch there. And it looks like our designer did not use the main background on this one. So you can see like some little gaps in there. Just interesting, different look. You really do a lot with this. Here is a shaker card. A Kudos shaker card. That is also part of a way that you could use this. So they've got their acetate, some looks like sequins in there, Kudos. And that's a nice idea. To get that added depth, you have the acetate, adhesive foam, or the dies will cut the foam, the acetate, all of that. And then last one, Kudos, kind of a little Mexican party theme like that, fiesta or piñata or somber, all that fun stuff on there. So those are great. I really like those ideas. And I will show you how you can die cut with that collection here in just a minute. Okay, let's head over to our game. We're going to try to do this. I'm not 100% sure about this game, but we're going to try. Because remember, I was telling you earlier at the beginning of this episode here that I was having a hard time with some of these words. It was really stretching my brain. But I think with all of us working together, we might be able to solve it. And they give you a bunch of points. But the main thing is to see, can we get this right? Now, the thing is, there's not a time limit. So what can we do? I don't want this to go on forever. We'll see how fast we're going. If the game is taking too long, we'll stop it. But if we're doing really good, then we're going to continue on. So you're going to help me. You're going to answer in the chat. All right. So they're going to give us some clues. The words are 5 letters, and we have to guess what the letters are. At the beginning, it's just random. If a box lights up, there's 5 letters. And if your box lights up green, that means the letter you picked is a correct letter and it's in the correct spot. If the box only lights up orange, that means you have a correct letter, but it's not in the right spot. So it's up to us to figure it out. And they give you a few chances, a few tries, and there's a few different rounds. So I think to win all the way, you have to get 4 words right. But there's kind of levels. So we'll see how it goes. Let's give it a try. This is a bomb. Okay, we tried, but we'll go back to Family Feud, or I found also Who Wants to Be a Millionaire on here. So that one might work. So here we go. Who's with me? Teresa, Gail, Janet, Paula, Teresa. I haven't seen any comments for a while, so you guys better be ready to help me out on this one because I'm going to need some help. Let me find the game. And I don't know if I got to play now. And hopefully we won't hear all these ads. I'm going to turn off the sound. And yeah, we got to wait for the ads to go through for a minute. Okay, so while that's playing, I'm going to go ahead and add this to my stage. They call it a stage here. And it will get ready. Oh, hi, Paula's here. So you guys are going to help me, all right? Everybody get ready to help me. We've been doing pretty good on our games. Last week, we did get like 22 out of 24 on our quiz. That was really good. And we've been dominating the games we've been playing, the regular games. So when we did good with our quiz last week, I'm thinking, we are just unstoppable right now. So let's see what we can do with this game. I'm going to fix that. We're going to do a screen. Share a screen. That's what we want to share a screen. And then, okay, we're going to share a screen. Word hurdle is what it's called. Let's see. Can you guys see that? I think you can see it. And today is Tuesday. It looks like you can play this game every day, and there's a different collection of words. No, we don't want that. Why is that advertising? There we go. Okay, I got rid of that one. So let's go ahead and hit play. All right, so there we are. Let me see what you guys can see, and I'll make sure I can see the comments. Good job. Teresa got a card out. Good job. Way to go, Teresa. Mary Jo says, hello from Nebraska. So I'm going to watch your comments, guys. Please add in the chat. If you know the words, Ken will need help on this game. Here we go. So I'm going to watch the time. It's 10:53 right now. Let's see how we do. Okay, so this first word can be any 5 letters random. So I like to get a couple vowels out there. Again, I don't know if I'm playing this right, but I'm going to try to get a couple vowels out there and a couple consonants that might be popular. And let's see how we do. Is that on there? Yes. Okay, good. So I'm going to type in the word store, and let's see how many we get right and how many wrong. And there is like a kind of, you can ask for some help if you want to pay, but we can do it ourselves. So I'm going to hit enter. Okay, so you see we got 1 letter right. That's the green one. And then the S is supposed to go somewhere, but it's in the wrong spot. It's in the wrong spot. So what do you guys think we should guess next? So there are no T, and there is no there's no O, and there's no R. Those letters are out. We tried them, and they're not going to work. What do you think our next guess could be? A 5-letter word. It has an S in it, and it has an E at the end. This is where my brain is a little bit slow. And so if any of you have a guess for a word that ends with an E, even words that end with an E are hard for me to think of. That, And I do think that they don't do this very often, but some of the time a word can show up, or a letter can show up twice. So we have 2 of the letters. Anybody have a guess for a word that it's 5 letters and it has an E in the end and an S somewhere in one of these 3 spots? Oh yeah, this is pretty hard. Yeah, it was hard for me to see. I don't see anybody jumping in to help. So I'm kind of on my own right now. So we're not going to do this too long, but we're going to see if we can get through one round. So a word that ends with an E at the end, and it also has an S somewhere in the middle. Can anybody think of a word that is like that? It's pretty challenging, right? It is pretty challenging. A word with an E at the end. Oh, I need some background music. Oh, I wonder if this has any music on it. No, I don't hear anything. Chase. Okay, Denise. Awesome. Thank you, Denise. We're going to try that one because you are the only one who has added in a guess. So I am proud of you because I would have never thought of this one. And so let's try that and see what we get. Now we're going to hit enter. Okay, so now we have 2 letters, right? And we found a 3rd letter. So it ends with S and E, and there's an A in it, but we're still missing 2 letters. Anybody next have another guess? Aside, says Gail. Aside. Well, we know it can't be aside because it's got an S and an E at the beginning, at the end. Ooh, and I was going to say house. That would have been a good guess, right? But see, the H is not good. You can't use an H. Yes, Paul. I know. My brain hurts thinking of this too. Yes. So we've got 2 letters. It's not house because we already used an H. We can use these letters down here below. It can be any of these. And you can't, I was going to say mouse, but it can't be mouse because it says no on the O there. Can't be false. Oh, maybe it could be false. You want to try? Let's try false. How about that? We haven't used an F. There's an A. We're going to try false. This would be a miracle if I got this one. False. Enter false. Nope. So now you see the A has to be at the beginning. The A has to go here. So it's going to be an A and it ends with an S and an E at the end. Any helpers out there? See, this is harder than I thought. I thought with all of us working together, we would get some of these, but I know by myself how long it took. So it's not a side. And an S and an E at the end. Anybody? Abuse. Okay. That is not a good word, but let's try it because we have not tried B and we have not tried U. Good thinking because, like I said, I would never have got this on my own. Enter. Woo! Okay, so we're just is there a different word? The B is wrong, Paula, but it was a good word. And friend me, myself, and I. What else can fit in there? Amuse. There we go. Wow. This is tough. Let's try amuse. Abuse was good, though, I think. All right. There we go. So we did 1 round. Do you guys want to try one more round or not? So they gave us the starting letters. We got 2 of them already. Oh, we got to wait for this advertisement to go by. I think the sound is off. Play. I'm going to turn the sound off. You guys want to play one more round? There's no way we're going to get through all the hurdles because that's like five rounds. We've already been doing this for 6 minutes just to get through one. Let me skip that ad. Turn that sound off. You guys want to try one more round? Yes, Mary Jo says. Let's see. This ad should be over here in just a minute. You can pay to get rid of these ads, but I didn't know if this game would be good, so I didn't pay. Okay. So there we are. We have 2. Let me fix that. We have 2 letters. Did we have any guesses yet? Hey, my light is flickering here. Do we have any guesses? There's no A, there's no M, and there's no U. There's no A, no M, no U. So it has an S at the end. Fuse. Cruise. Would cruise fit? Cruise, no. Cruise would not fit. That has too many letters. Is anybody out there going to bail me out? Prize. Is that those? Okay, so let's try those. We're going to try those first. Sorry, my lights are blinking here like crazy. We're going to try that first. And then we'll try the other word that was recommended to us. Hang on one second. I'm fixing my light. It is just starting to blink like crazy for no reason. Come back on light. Come back on light. Oh, no. It is off. That is bad. There we go. Stay on. Okay, I think I got my light back. Oh, what did we get? So there was an O, but no SE. And what was the other one? Prize. So it can't, it's got to have an O in it. So it can't be prize, but it does have an O. So the O has to be in one of the first two spots. Can't be hose. Chose? No, it can't be chose. Oh, this is getting really hard. Really, really hard. This is getting really hard, you guys. It can't be pose. Oh, no, because the O can't be in the middle. The O cannot be in the middle. Accuse. Oh, who said no? It can't be accused because it didn't take the A. It wouldn't take the A. What else? We're almost done. We're almost done. Can't be close. I thought of close, like CLOSE, but the O can't be in the middle. Well, I think this game is, no, it can't be power because the SE are in the right spot. And yeah, it can't be that one. I'm going to give up. We're going to give up. This is too hard. This is too hard, but we give it a try. W, no, V, no. I'm just looking one more time if there's anything that would, something J-O-N-O, noise? Let's try noise. This will be our last guess. Noise. Gail said, Gail, did you say poise? You got it, Gail. Good job. Sorry, I didn't see your guess. Whoops. Delete. Yeah. No, we want to delete. Delete. Enter. Yes. Gail, you got it. Good one, Gail. Sorry, I missed that. Okay, so you see you're supposed to get 3 more rounds. And we are getting them, but this is taking way too long. So we were able to do it, but at like a snail's pace. So we're going to give up on that game. And we will not do that game again. We're going to go back. We'll find something much simpler, faster, and that doesn't make our brains work quite so much, I think. I think that's the key. My brain is just not ready for that. Again, I was able to get through it yesterday, but I spent way too much time. And I thought all of us working as a team, we would get it. But no. This one is just too much. So let me get rid of that and remove. Okay, I'm back. We're done. We tried. Sorry about that, guys. I thought it was going to be a good one. And it's good for thinking and exercising our brain, but time-wise, not good. Okay, let me find the kudos. We're going to do that. And over here on the die table, let's switch. Where is my die table? There it is. 3 cut. Alrighty. Now I just need my die set. What did I do with that? I misplaced it. Doggone it. Oh, there it is. Kudos. It says kudos. So way to go. You did it. Congratulations. Great. Remember we were just talking about graduation cards. So this would work. So here you go. You have your dies. And we're going to use the outside die to make the fold part of the card. Now, I don't see where it says, place fold here. It says right here. So that's going to be the top of our card. So we want to do that. Let's get that out of the way and see if we can brighten this up a little. Good. And I have just some basic, what do we want to do? Let's try, it's like going to keep working. Yeah. Let's try some white cardstock here, and we've got to create that fold. So we just fold our, this is an 8.5 by 11 sheet of cardstock. And let's go ahead, and what it means by place fold here, on a fold it, your die needs to come just over the edge of the fold. That's what creates the folding part of your card. So we're going to run that through here. And let's go ahead and do that. And we've got that there. Let's see what else we can do. I think I'm going to need one more sheet. So we have this looking good so far. We've created the base of our card. It has the fold. Get rid of those little extra pieces. It's all good, but remember how it's supposed to be nice and bumpy like the letters? Well, when you do the fold, you get a straight line there. So we need to be able to cover that up. So let's try to do that. And I do have some more white cardstock here to use. And we're going to take that same die that we just ran through to create this. We're going to run it through one more time here. One more time. And here we go. Run it through here. Whoops. I was not quite in alignment there, so I got that little squeaky noise. Now this that we just cut out we're going to put this back over here. Cover up that straight line that we were talking about. That did not look good. We want this to look like a shaped card, not a straight card. Now an A2 card, that regular card base, that would be good. So this is just basically going to cover up that straight line. So we're going to add that onto there and get rid of that. So let's do that. Some adhesive on here. Make sure I get all the edges so it stays on there real nice. Good. We're doing good. Got that on here. Oops. If you don't line it up, it's no matter what, it's not going to look right. So I've got to make sure I line it up correctly. Okay, so there we go. We've got our card. We're ready to decorate this a little bit. So let's press all that down. And then next we are going to take our letters. And we have this extra die here that we can kind of layer some things here. So we can add a little extra shadow here. So let's do that before we do our letters. Get a little background here. And we're going to go ahead and run that through. Whoops, you can't see me where I am. Sorry about that. My machine got scooted over there a bit. So we're just taking this cardstock here and running it through the machine to give us a little bit of a color to this card, because right now we are all white, so we want to get some color on there. And let me see here real quick. Yeah, that should layer on there. That would be good. And we're using that die, and let's run it through the machine. And I'm just going to go like halfway here and then roll it back. Well, it's about the same. We'll just continue all the way, and I'll kind of be in the center. Good. So this cut out a nice layer for us to add to our card. We can add that there. That kind of gives us a little bit of a background, so that's good. And my adhesive, where'd you go, adhesive? There it is. Okay, make sure I have that the right way. Add adhesive to this. Whoops. Okay. And we're getting there. Now we just need our letters. So we're going to go one more time. We're going to run this die through. And this is going to actually cut out all the letters that we need. But we need a different color. So let's go ahead and switch over. I always have a ton of this, and it's nice and bright, this strawberry cardstock around here. That should show up really good. We're going to run this through, and it'll cut out all of our individual letters. Now, I could have, and I probably should have added an adhesive sheet to this. It would make it a lot easier, because now I would have a sticker when I come out of my machine here, but instead I have to add some adhesive to each one of these letters if I want to use them all. So we're going to mix this up a little. I'm going to show you the letters that were created here. So I'm just popping these out. There's the D, U, K, an O, and an S. But we don't want all the same color to be on there. So yesterday I had cut out a few letters, and I think I did them in white. So here's all my letters that I just cut out. I'm going to keep those. And we're going to give ourselves a little workstation here in the center. Move that out of the way. Find our card base, and let's just lay this out, see how it's going to look real quick. We could add an O there, and maybe we want to do like every other. So let's try the K there. And what would it be? D would be in the middle. That's good. And we could do an S at the end. That's great. Now I have my other letters that I created yesterday. I have an O. And rather than adhering all these, I will do a couple, but this will give you an idea of what the card would end up looking at like at the end. And I just need to find my U's. So you see, I did all these different colors yesterday. I can mix and match all of these different ones together. But there we go. A nice layers, different colors. Looks very Valentine-y, right? But it still comes out really, really nice. So I will add here these first couple letters, but here it is. Kudos, just like that. Mix and match a couple of different colors. Imagine if you use some glitter or foil, some special papers that you have, this would really stand out. Really awesome. But let me go ahead and I'll adhere these first two. I'll take these two off so it doesn't look all crazy. Let's get this on here, and I need some scratch paper. Or I laid this down and would adhere this to our card, and it'll at least give you a good idea of the direction you could go with this set. And it has that one little extra layering die for letters that really, really made an extra difference that I liked. So we've got our U right there. And that will stay down. And our K there at the beginning for kudos. And then again, like I was saying, you just keep adding on. You can, if you want to go real crazy, you could add some different, even some extra different colors. Maybe you like the gray. I have an O there. We like the every other, so let's try that. Kudos. You can do whatever you want with this. Mix and match it. Have some fun. I really thought this was interesting, kind of neat. So super easy. I'd adhere these two. These ones you'd still have to tape down. Opens up. Boom, there's your card. You could decorate it just like we were talking about. Oh, that congratulations stuff. Way to go. You did it. I'm proud of you. Fun set. Fun set. I hope you guys like that. That is it. Again, easy to work with, I think. And I think you guys will like that collection. That's the Kudos. Let me show you. I want to show you again a couple times the different options. So they left, the designer took out the background layer and just used the second layer to create this one, which was a fun way to go. And then the shaker card, that was one. Some pattern paper with solid backgrounds. There's Kudos with a couple different layers and pattern paper. And Kudos with just a white and a couple different solid colors. And this is one that really stands out, makes me think using that glitter, adding a little something extra. There you go. All right, that is a wrap for all that stuff today. Again, I hope you are having an awesome day. I see we have a smaller crowd today, so I know it's not because we did that game, because the crowd was smaller before we started our game. Everybody's busy today. What usually happens on the 7th? Today's the 8th of the month. So everybody's busy for some reason. Well, we're here, and I'm glad you're here. So thanks for joining me. Barbara says, kudos to me. Thank you so much, Barbara. All right. We are going on to read our Bibles. Today, I'm going to actually use my phone. I'm going to use my phone as my Bible. And I have the Bible app on here. So I'm going to go ahead and open up my app. So if you like to follow along with, we are in Proverbs chapter 6. We've just been picking out some random Proverbs here and there that kind of might speak to us and that we can learn from. So that is our goal here, just to keep reading God's word. And if you want to read ahead for next week, you can be into maybe, I would read 2 chapters, like 7 and 8. There is a theme that we won't probably touch, but kind of has to do with adultery, or mostly it's talking about a woman that would get you into this, because remember, Solomon's writing it to his son. He's warning his son, watch out for this type of woman. But the same thing, I know it's mostly ladies here watching. You ladies got to watch out for the guys that would get you into a situation that would not be good too. But we are not really covering that, but the topic keeps coming up a bunch of times. So as you're reading in Proverbs, you might come across that. And it is certainly something to think about and to be aware of. The Bible warns us about adultery, especially if we're married or even doing things outside of marriage. So we got to be aware of that. So that is a topic that is a bunch of times it comes up earlier in this book, so that we need to be aware of. And usually, again, it's pointing out in most of these biblical times a situation where it's a woman causing the problem. But I want you to know, guys could be the problem too. So we just got to be on high alert. We got to be on high alert that we don't fall into that type of sin. So we are in Proverbs 6. And my question, when you think about, I have a question for you here. When you think about God, can you think of some things that that God likes, that God thinks highly of? Can you think of some things that God talks about that are important to him and that he knows are important for us? Some good positive things. Can you think of any things like that? Now, the first things so if you have some ideas, go ahead and post it in the chat. You can do that even while we're doing our good news segment here. But some of the things I thought of course, that God is love. That's an easy one. God says that forgiveness is important, right? Forgiveness, being generous, giving. Can you guys think of any traits when you think of like the positive aspects of God, the things that you see in him and that he wants to see in us? Go ahead and post it if you have some answers. Forgiveness, that's a good one, Diane. Forgiveness. I think being honest or truthful is a good thing. Being thankful, gracious. Barbara says being kind to others. Awesome. You guys are doing good. Yeah, so we have all of these things, right, that are kind of positive. We could come up with a lot of good things that we know we should be doing that will benefit us, definitely. And being, forgiving, being kind are excellent ones. I know being merciful, gracious, kind. I said generous before. So all these kind of things are traits. But then on the opposite end, can you think of any things that, and you can answer this in the chat if you want, but can you think of any things that God hates? That's a pretty strong word, but it says it right in the Bible. And that's what we're going to read about today. There are 7 things that are mentioned here today that the Bible says that God hates. And so what's important for us is to know these things. Number 1, that God hates. And number 2, that we make sure that we are not getting involved with any of these things. So it's kind of like a warning system for us. But what's kind of funny about it is the first things I would think of, like, oh, God hates, I would say, like we were just talking about, adultery. God hates murder. Sylvie's got to go in liars. So I would think of all these really strong, like crazy things. God hates cursing or swearing or different things like that would come to mind. But let's read in Proverbs chapter 6, and I will pop up this verse. So we're in Proverbs 6, and we're looking at We are looking at, is it verse 16, I think? I have to find even my Bible. There, I highlighted it, so it would help me to find it. Yes, here we are. We are in verse 16. And it says, these 6 things the Lord hates. There are actually 7. Yes, 7 are an abomination to him. So here they are. Things we want to avoid. We want to make sure they're not in our lives because God hates them. So if God hates it, we want to be in alignment with him. So let's read what they are. These 6 things the Lord hates. Yes, 7 are an abomination to him. A proud look, a lying tongue, hands that shed innocent blood, a heart that devises wicked plans, feet that are swift in running to evil, a false witness who speaks lies, and one who sows discord among brethren. So interesting. Remember the ones I had mentioned, or some of the ones that you guys had mentioned? They're not all included in this group, but look at those things that God hates. The first one, a proud look, pride. The Bible warns us about pride. It might be the biggest sin according to the Bible of all. And it seems like a lot of the other sinful things that we get involved with are connected to pride. But the Bible warns us that pride, it says, what does it say? Pride goes before destruction and a haughty spirit before a fall, right? So that is a big one, pride. We are not to be prideful people, boasting or bragging about ourselves. Or I think especially like looking down on other people, that would be a great example of pride. Or, you know, how we think we compare ourselves to other people and we think we're better than them. That would be definitely be a sign of pride. We want to make sure we don't have that in our lives. The next one, number 2, let me switch back over there. And you guys always jump in, even though I'm the one yakking and talking here all this time. If you have any thoughts, you're always welcome to add them into the chat. Okay, I'm going to go back to that. Second one, what did it say? A lying tongue. And I know one of, I think it was Sylvie mentioned liars. Yes. And so lying is, we shouldn't be dishonest people. And we shouldn't be people who maybe like fudge the truth or only tell half the truth. Or do you ever think of, well, I'm telling the truth, or I'm telling something that I make it sound true, but it's really not. I don't know if that's a good way to explain it. But anyway, we're supposed to be honest people. We're not to have a lying tongue. And then the next one, hands that shed innocent blood. We need to learn to control our anger, right? First off, we need to control our anger. God wants us to have control. One of the fruits of the Spirit is that we would have self-control. So we need to learn how to control our anger. Well, here, this thing that God hates is when somebody takes their hands and physically hurts or harms somebody else. Now, there is a time that you need to protect yourself or defend yourself, but it says to shed innocent blood. So to bring trouble in a physical way to somebody else, God hates that, it says. Now, I think this is kind of connected. So we have that physical side, but then what does it say next? And God hates that. It says, a heart that devises wicked plans. So now we're talking about the inside of us, our heart. The Bible says in Jeremiah, let me read this, Jeremiah 7:9, it says, the heart is deceitful above all things and is desperately wicked, the Bible says. Who can know it? So we are warned that we have to be careful with our hearts. They can come up with plans that are not good, when you think of wicked plans, it would be plans to harm somebody else, right? God says he hates that. So we have that physical side where we're harming somebody, and we also have that side where somebody's planning to hurt somebody with a wicked plan. We want to hate those things. Then we're almost done. And then it says feet that are swift in running to evil. And you know what? When I thought of this one, excuse me. When I thought of this one, it made me think of gossiping. You know how when you hear some news about somebody and maybe it's not good news, or maybe it doesn't put that person in a super good light, but we can't wait to share it with somebody else. You ever get that feeling? I can't wait to tell so and so about this. Well, God says we cannot be swift. We're not in a hurry to go out and expose people. We're not trying to make a big deal out of things that are not good. The Bible says that love covers over sin, a multiple of sin. It covers it. Love does. We want to be people who do love. We don't want to try to expose people. We don't want to be running out being swift to promote things that are evil. And I'm sure there are many other possibilities, but the thing that I really thought about was gossip. So when we hear that thing about somebody else that we just can't wait to tell somebody else, maybe we shouldn't do that, right? Maybe we shouldn't do that. So I think of gossiping, and you'd probably see that like on things like this on the internet, on YouTube or Facebook, where people post things that are not nice or they're mean. It's like they're just eager to do that, and we are not supposed to be like that, it says. And then a false witness who speaks lies. We know that one of the commandments, commandment number 9, is from Exodus 20, you shall not bear false witness against your neighbor. Don't lie about other people. It's really simple. Avoid that. Keep away from that. God hates it. He doesn't want us to lie, especially I think in like, where we're in a dispute or a situation where somebody else's character is at stake. So no, we're not to be a false witness who speaks lies. So kind of the deceitful, dishonest thing comes up twice. So that must be really important on God's list too, huh? And then the last one is one who sows discord among brethren. So discord means trouble. We're not to be troublemakers. We're not to be causing people pain or harm. We're not gossiping. We're not slandering people. We're not all the things kind of that we mentioned before, I think would cause discord. So discord means like there's a lack of agreement. There's a lack of harmony between people. God does not want us to be like that. So as the church, we're to be one. Doesn't mean we all think alike or every thought is the same. We're all unique and God's made us different, and we can have different opinions, but we're working to be together in harmony. We're not to be sowing discord. We're not to be troublemakers. That is one of the things that God hates. And then also at the same time, as we go out into the world, it's to be the same thing. We're not to be causing discord among people. We're not to be arguing with people. We're not to be making a big deal out of our differences and opinions, maybe our political views or societal views or all these kind of things, the things we like or don't like. Again, we can all have our opinions on all these things, but we don't want to push them so much that it causes discord, even out in the world when we're among people who don't know God. So there are some things that God says he hates, and it's just a good reminder for us to get in alignment with those things, that if God says he doesn't like it, then we want to make sure that we don't like it either and that we don't allow it into our lives. So as we finish up that, let's go ahead and pray together, and that God will work in our lives to help us to avoid these kinds of things. So let's all take a minute to pray and see that God will help us in these areas. Let's pray. Father, thank you so much for the time we've been together today, and that you would meet us here. And we thank you that we could read your word and you give us understanding. We know so many things that you stand for and that you like, but it's good to be also reminded that there are things you want us to avoid and things that are not good for us. So help us to take these things to heart. And as we have learned these things, help us to go ahead and apply it to our lives in such a way that you'll be glorified and honored, because we would just be more and more in agreement with you, and that we would be more and more in agreement with each other, and that there would be less discord or division in our lives, in the church maybe that we go to, or in our family, or in our home situation, or our workplace, our school, whatever we're doing, that we would find ways to connect with people and love them. And again, rather than discord, there would be harmony and peace. We'd be peacemakers. We really want that, Lord. Help us to be people who bring peace and encouragement and joy into the people's lives that we care about. And we want to have a heart to where we care about every single person that you put into our lives, because we know that you value them and that every single person is important to you. So help us to see them the way you see them. So help us. We can't do this by ourselves. Come and fill us with your spirit and give us the power to be just the kind of people you want us to be. And we ask this in Jesus' name. Amen. All right. That is a wrap. Thank you for hanging out with me today. Again, if you're watching at a later time, add your comments down below. Love to hear from all of you. If you are going to be with us later in the week, we will have Stephanie's Crafting Corner. Don't forget about that. That is coming up. I'll pop this up there. Let's see. Oh, like button. If you like this episode, even though I knew it was daring to try that game, kind of boring game. I hope you still like this episode. We had some fun, at least looking at some great items from the Stamps of Life, and we had our good news segment. Just a fair game, but I will find a better one for next time, or we'll go back to a quiz maybe. I'll find something better for next week. We'll try again. But thank you for joining me. I have a blessed day, all of you. Don't forget, Stephanie's Crafting Corner will be this Thursday night, okay, at 5 p.m. If you like this show, click the like or share or anywhere you can post it or any of that. That's great. We're hoping people can find us, and always add comments. That helps us out a lot for people who are looking for something fun and encouraging and just have a good time together. Your job, guys, is to go out and find out where everybody was that was not here today. I know Instagram was not working, so we lost some people, but I know not that many people watch on Instagram. So we got to find out what happened to all of our Facebook and our YouTube friends today. Hopefully they'll be back next week. Okay, I will see you next week here on Take Two Tuesday. If not before then, I will see you on Thursday for the Crafting Corner. And Stephanie will be here. We will have some fun. I can guarantee you that. Thursday night, okay? YouTube, Facebook, all those different places. We will be there. All right. See you next week. Have a great day. Bye.